What happened between me and you? I just know you ghosted me and all
So
that.
don't you tell me
Oh, hey, Pam, how you doing? I'm
just
just sitting here,
because I
just
look out
relaxing. How you
for
doing? Things
myself.
good with
I
you?
met her on a dating app, and we were really cool. We really enjoyed ourselves. We went out. We had fun. We didn't go on many dates. We knew each other for about 2 months. And the situation is our connection was 100. We talked 4 hours, 5 hours when we went out to eat. Our conversation was unstoppable. It was something that, like, people would look at and be like, dang, they really get along. And I did get along. But during this time, she was dating, I was dating, and we hit it off. We had a beautiful time. But there was times that she wouldn't show up. There was times that I set up a date and she didn't flake on me, just canceled on me. I didn't really see nothing about it because we hung out here and there, plus she had kids and stuff like that. And I didn't think that was no excuse. It might have been an excuse. I don't know. But I felt that we were meant to be with each other. Not like a relationship, but really like getting to know each other on a deeper level. And during this time, she ghosted me. There is no situation of me like sitting there going, like, she told me, like, she could have just, you could have just came out to say, hey, it's just not working out. We're not going to spend time with you. I found somebody else, or I'm having problems in life, or anything like that. But she just ghosted me. So 9 months later, I go out and I see her, right? Very pretty woman, very classy. I enjoyed her company, but I was surprised to see her. But during that time, I called her several times and she wouldn't pick up. But this time, I just saw her at the bar or a lounge, and I went up to her and she knew my name. She said, hey, LaDon. She gave me a hug and she walked away and stuff like that. But I didn't look at it like a sign. I just looked at she must have some other things to do. But what I figured out was, let me go up to her and say, why? Like, what was the reason you ghosted me? Was it the sex, or was it, what was it? I mean, I get ghosted, but not like that when we had 100% communication and we got along. But I was really like trying to figure it out in my head for a long time. And I saw her and I went up to her, and like I said, and after she sat down, I went up to her and I said, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm doing good, Don, and everything. How you doing? I said, I'm good. I just wanted to know, like, what happened between me and you? I just know you ghosted me and all that. And she just said, Don, not here. I got your number still. Let me take down your number. No, you take it down. I'll call you or text you. She just texted me right there. There's my number. Just hit me up later. So I said, okay, cool. I went on with my day. I seen her here and there. I didn't look at her like that, and stare at her. And she was doing her own thing. But then the next day, I decided to call her. And I called her at 12 o'clock p.m. And I knew that was the time that she always answered the phone. She really don't answer the phone at night or really in the afternoon. But that time she called me back on that Monday when I met her on that Sunday. And we start talking. And she was like, Don, I was with this guy. She said, no, Don, I'm just going to go ahead and tell the truth. I was dating this guy, and I was invested in him. He was invested in me. He took me around his family. We went out a lot when I was talking to you. And she said that I enjoyed your company and I had a good time with you, But the situation is, I just went with him. And I sat there and, and I'm looking at myself like, okay, but I'm not really like hurt or nothing like that. No feelings. I just wanted to know what was the reason. And she said, I made a mistake. He went with this. I thought he was going to be with me. She said, I assumed that thought we were going to be in a relationship. I started losing guys' numbers and start being serious with him, but he didn't want to be serious with me. So she told me, let me tell you the truth some more. She said that I thought I was going to be with him, but he went back to his ex, and I just was mad and sad about it because he, kind of hurt her. And she said, I had your number, but I just didn't call you because, she said I didn't call no guy after that. She just moved on with her life. But when I seen her that day, I just wanted to know. But during that time, we talked and she explained herself. I was not on bad terms. She was not on bad terms. But then I looked at it and we talked for 4 hours. We talked like we did before. We got along, we laughed, and I said, let me hit her up. I skipped the day, and I said, let me hit her up again, and she picked up. And we talked again, and she laughed, and she said, do you miss me? And I was just like being real, like, yeah, I miss you. And she was like, Don, I miss you too. And she said, but I made a mistake picking him instead of just being with you or trying to get to know you. And what my question is, like, I'm just trying to sit there and say that, she ghosted me before, she flaked on me before, and she said, I apologize, and she wants to get to know me more, but she says she is still dating. But I'm just wondering, is I'm the fool of like getting to know her again? Like, I know I was not number one pick in her life, but we had nothing wrong with each other. And I mean, sometimes I be watching that show on Netflix about people in love and they find out, I think it was Blind Date or something like that. And they go in these cubicles and they talk and they got to figure out which one do they like. And you think that this person right in front of you is the right one, but you just don't know. And then you find out later that was not the person for you. And that's the same situation when I was in. Like, do I just move on with my life or it just didn't work out? But now she wants to come back to me and try to work out with something with me. That's where I'm confused at. Like, I know I'm the last pick, but I'm just looking at the situation like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. It's just like very confusing. But the situation is, to me, is that I just look at it like, do we keep talking? Or I just move on with my life? But she did no harm to me. We left on good terms. We didn't leave it on no bad terms. I was dating her and she was dating me. But somebody came into her life she connected with Mike a little bit more. But it didn't work out. And I'm very confused by that. That's why I was going to ask you the question, like, what should I do? I don't really have an answer for it. Because it's hard when you are communicating and you laughing and she laughing at my jokes and it's just hours of us sitting at the restaurant just laughing and time just going and going. And that communication is just strong. Like, it's better than sex. It's just, I'm at this state in my life. It's just something that you have to look at and go, wow. But after we connected, it never changed. It never slacked. But I can tell you this. I am leery of her ghosting me again or moving on again. She might find somebody that's better than me. But do I take that chance to say, let me get to know her and see where it goes? You know? Sometimes I'm just confused. That's all. I just don't understand. Do you give that person a chance again, or they ghosted you out of their life, or they ran out of life without no explanation or nothing, and then tell you nothing till later? You know? But I learned in life that people do make mistakes. And do you forgive them, or do you just say, fuck it, let me just move on to something greater than me or something better, because she did that to me, but she did nothing wrong to me. So that's my question. Like, I was just trying to understand. It's very confusing sometimes. You know? And if I did that to anybody out there, it came back to haunt me. I don't know. But as a man, we do leave out of women's life and not say nothing. And what goes around comes around. You know, I might did it to somebody and it can happen to me. So sometimes we do people wrong and we don't think it's going to happen to us, and it comes back and hunt us. That's how I see it. I don't see no other way. But that was my question. That's it. That's all I wanted to know. Sometimes I'm just confused. And that's really it. But you can answer that question. That sounds good to me. Because I don't know. I really don't know. But all right, then. That's my time. But you still gonna talk to her? I don't know. Like, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing.